must work together to create a culture of our country that cherishes life and fosters real human connections.
In the name of 17 people, you cannot ask the NRA to keep their money out of your campaign?
I will support any law that will prevent a killer like this.
No, but I'm talking NRA money.
No, I don't know what their position is on teachers being armed, but I don't think they should be, because that's what I think the right thing to do.
I want you to know that we will support your two children in the way that we will not. You will not.
I don't believe that this insane monster should have ever been able to obtain a firearm.
A lot of back and forth lately over identity politics and the culture wars dividing America. Well, just this week, New York Times columnist David Brooks writing that he thinks progressives are on the verge of winning the culture war, writing, quote, progressives are getting better and more aggressive at silencing dissenting behavior. If they can cut what's left of the conservative movement off from mainstream society, they will fundamentally alter the culture war. Progressives have won on most social issues. They could win on nearly everything else. So is that true? Back with us is our radio talk show host panel, Kathy Barnett, is it Gunzelman?
Yeah.
Gunzelman?
Call me Guns.
It's the Guns.
How you doing?
Rick Unger and Kevin McCullough. So this is a really great question because, and by the way, if you haven't seen the piece, read the piece. What he's basically saying is that this discussion is not really about guns or school safety. It's about making the NRA so unacceptable that people are almost embarrassed to be part of it. So what do you say, Kevin?
It's a really naive column from where I sit. I think that if you're going to try to change a culture where you've got 1.7 guns for every person in the population, and you're going to try to make them take the fall for school violence that there are multiple solutions for, I think you're barking up the wrong tree. So if you think it's going to be the gun issue that wins the culture war, David Brooks is out to lunch.
What do you say, Kevin?
This article is an absolute joke when you really think about it. I mean, his agenda comes across so clearly in this. And I think, honestly, like, you know, it might appear that the culture's changing, but in actuality, I really think that we're still a 51-49 country for the most part. And I think, you know, the combination between, like, the media harping up or propping up issues, or perhaps, the, you know, all this focus on Hollywood, celebrities freaking out about everything, that it appears that, you know, we're turning progressive, but reality, no.
Rick, I think these conservatives personally you guys are naive. Because I think the culture matters. I think culture precedes politics. And if you can change the culture, you can eventually win the politics. It's a long-term game. What do you say?
Well, that's a different question. I agree with what you just said, but I'm with these guys. That article is wrong. You know, I'd love to sit here and say, see, we progressives are winning the culture war. We're not. This country hasn't changed in a long time. You still have a center-right culture in America. I don't see it going anywhere. I think David Brooks was completely off.
Kathy, do you think the left can change the culture, move it from the center-right position that Rick's talking about over towards them more?
Well, not based on this particular strategy. The strategy of this particular author is one of shaming Americans into silence, and he went so far as to call those of us who espouse guns and gun ownership as being socially, morally illegitimate. Well, he can throw me in that bucket because I practice my Second Amendment on a daily basis. But can he shift it? No, I don't believe so. I mean, tragically, Nicholas Cruz killed 17 little souls on that day. But Planned Parenthood kills over 800 babies on a daily basis. And where is the moral outrage on that? Where is the social unacceptability of that particular thing? So I think we need to take that into consideration.
Well, listen, I come out of reality TV, so I'm part of pop culture. This president came out of reality TV. I think, in my opinion, my theory is, and this is my theory, is that that's why they hate him so much on the left, that he is a threat to popular culture, which they own and they want full dominance of. What do you think, Kevin?
Well, the fact, well, you can go, I can go, whatever. No, go ahead. But no, I think that they're exactly feel threatened by him for the fact that this was not supposed to happen. Donald Trump was not supposed to be president, but guess what? He is the president, so deal with it.
But isn't that why culture? Isn't that why they want him not to be on Twitter? They don't want him to have the platform that they think it belongs.
I don't know.
Only
I think
to the
there
left.
are more conservatives who want Trump off Twitter some days than there are Republicans. But let me address the point that Michael was talking about, and that is that Brooks makes this divide in the piece that there's cultural power and political power. And in reality, one does precede the other, and it's been swinging conservative for the last 10 years. Now conservatives have control of more state houses, all houses of government on the federal level, and it's not looking like the big blue wave is going to be what they thought it was this fall.
Yeah.
Conservatives
need to stand. And, read this article, take a stand, and take up their position.
Well, these are some pretty optimistic conservatives on this panel. I think culture matters, but we'll see. Thanks a lot. Great insight. All right.